here. We are no fools on the heat. My people.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ABS Africa Broadcasting Service, coming to you from Houston, Texas, the great state of Texas. It's a privilege to be with you here today. Thank you for joining the broadcast. I am quite excited coming to you today. I want to welcome all of you who are tuning in from Africa, and precisely ground zero being the Federal Republic of Amazonia. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of you joining also from ground one, talking about Nigeria. Thank you for all the fans who are tuning in from the rest of the world, from Asia, from Europe, from Eastern Europe, from the continent USA, from South America, and everywhere across the globe. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for again tuning in to be part of this broadcast today. Today, we're going to be talking about quite a number of issues. Number one, the fraud going on at the Yaoundé and Douala airport in the name of COVID-19 testing, ladies and gentlemen. We also will be talking about the exploits of the Red Dragons yesterday, decimating French Cameroon terrorist soldiers in Libya. We also will be talking about, of course, the Afcon competition that is being imposed on Amazonians. So we're going to be talking about that too. And of course, we will be talking about the decimation of our Anglo-Saxon educational system that continues to go unabated by La République du Cameroon officials. So we are going to discuss all of this. I have a house packed of a panel here, ladies and gentlemen. I will be revealing them as we go on. For those of you who are joining by way of the social media, precisely Facebook, I want to see the numbers jumping. So please, you go ahead and hit that share button. At least 1,000 people in the next 5 minutes. 1,000 people in the next 5 minutes. I am really excited out here, and I want to see that excitement also out there from you who are joining the platform by way of Facebook. Hit the share button. I want to see the numbers literally jumping. Okay, and while you do that, just want to remind you again, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Africa Broadcasting Service. I am your anchor man, Chris Arnold. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put in there. Again, we have a very exciting broadcast today, but I want you to go ahead, hit your share button, and in the next 5 minutes, I want to see these numbers jumping to the 1,000s. Again, hit your share button for those of you just joining the broadcast. Let the numbers rise very, very rapidly. Tonight, again, we're talking about the exploits of the Red Dragons. We're also talking about the insecurity or the security threat that Afcon is bringing into Ambazonia, and of course the corruption of our Anglo-Saxon educational system by La République du Cameroon, and the fraud that is ongoing at La République du Cameroon's airports in Douala, in Yaoundé. You need 100,000 francs for COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines. We'll be talking about that, and of course we'll also be talking about the recent master's degree grabbed at the University of Bamenda by a colonial governor in the northern zone by the name of Lele Lafrade. We're going to look into that, and of course we will also be talking about the kind of education and the kind of teachers, ladies and gentlemen, that our people are getting in this time and age in our universities, both in Bamenda and in Boya. Of course, the security threat that is being posed upon Ambazonians by the hosting of this Afcon. We're going to talk about this, and my panel will come on. My panel will come on to discuss this. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to go on and hit your share button. Go on and hit your share button, please. Go on, hit your share button. We want to see the numbers jumping. They are not jumping to my liking right now. By now, we should be having at least 500 on Facebook. Please go ahead, hit your share button. Go ahead, hit your share button. Okay. All right, but while you do so, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to take a look for a moment at these images, This is Ambazonia. The reason why we are at war with La République du Cameroon, ladies and gentlemen, is because of images, situations like this one that I bring to you. What you are about to see is the road. La République du Cameroon would love to call it the ring road. The ring road linking Kumba and Indian County. Kumba, that is Meme County and Indian County. Now, it will interest you to know that Indian County is the home to Colonial Prime Minister Dion Ngute. You will be shocked, ladies and gentlemen, to see the nature, the kind of roads leading to Dion Ngute's hometown. Look at it, ladies and gentlemen, look at that.
Kaketu is located about 6.8 kilometers away from the city of Kumba, but the poor road makes life difficult here.
The road is very, very poor.
As you see, so the road is very bad.
Only few vehicles with improvised systems can access this road. The poor nature of the road has also forced open the doors for insecurity on this stretch. Farmers and road users find it difficult to get to their destination safely and on time.
Me say we no day. Me say even if we move a chop them for bush, we no day. Ukara them they suffer every day for year motor they suffer. Even carry comes so go for a come go bury over that side. Now wahala.
Most people think that the government should bounce back on the project to construct this road, following the Triennial Development Plan, which saw the start of the road project in 2016, but was stopped by the armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon.
I beg me the government try help me. May help me. I beg
me government see they need me to do away for level. So we say government go let's see do a solution for our problem.
For the road, you go motor self expenditure. Even as small money work on motor oil, you waste oil.
The road passes to Rumbonge subdivision, the largest in Cameroon, and gets to Ekono Titi and Mundemba, hosting the Pamo Plantation PLC and part of CDC farms. It is clear that villages along this stretch of road are rich in resources, but the people are discouraged by the poor road network.
Viewers, this is the road that leads to Mbonge, and the same road leads to Ndian Division here in the southwest region of the country. This road leads also to Bongongo, which is the Prime Minister's village. The road is quite inaccessible. The population here, they are suffering because of this stretch of road. I want to let you know that there are so many farmers who cannot remove their farm produce to town or to the various market just because of the inaccessibility of this stretch of road. Tamfo Sidwan Dimye, my media prime, Kake, Kumbawan subdivision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, what you just watched there is the condition of the road. Ladies and gentlemen, heading to Indian County from Kumba, Meme County. And La République du Cameroon would love you to believe they have tarred that road. In fact, it is in their records as having been tarred. You will be shocked at this. This road, the road you find here, is in
Kaketu is located about 6.8 kilometers.
As having been tarred, You are watching at the ring road from Meme County to Indian County in the neck of the hood of Colonial Prime Minister Dion Ngute. But ladies and gentlemen, the bigger perspective to this story is that this is why we are at war. This is why we are at war. We live with La République du Cameroon for 60 years. 60 years. That is all that we got. That is all that we got. You head up to Bamenda, there is no road into Bamenda. There is none. And they have promised that road again and again and again and again to tar it. No, the road doesn't exist. You go to Kumba Indian, leading to the Prime Minister's own home, there is no road, never accessible, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I brought this to you to let you know, there is no way we can give up. There is no way we can give up fighting for what should belong to us. Talking about, just imagine, Ambazonia produces, I think my understanding is 62, if not 82% of the GDP in all of that country, La République du Cameroon. We don't have roads. We don't have schools. We don't have hospitals. We have nothing. We have nothing. But everything goes over to La République du Cameroon. We produce timber. We produce bananas. We produce the oil. We produce rubber. We produce all the food, the raw food stuff that is consumed in all of that country, ladies and gentlemen. We have nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing to show for it. When we look at things like this, I really don't understand.
On this stretch,
I wonder,
farmers and road,
ladies and gentlemen, why some so-called elites think that we have to die under this yoke as if we were born for it, as if it is a curse to us. No, we cannot die. We cannot continue to live under this yoke. We cannot. And I have heard some people say that, you know, even in the whole country in East Cameroon, that is the way their roads look like. Yeah, their roads may look like it because people try to generalize. If you listen to their politicians, they try to generalize the problems of that country. La République du Cameroon regions, they should not cry for equity because they don't produce equity. We cry for equity because we produce it. We own it. But we are being raped. We are being raped for the same equity that we produce. So please, you elite, so-called elite out there, don't tell us it's a Cameroon problem. It cannot be a Cameroon problem. This is an Ambazonian problem. and we will live fighting until the last man standing. That is, if need be. If need be. I just wanted to bring this to you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, continue hitting your share button. Hit 1,000 people in the next 5 minutes. Now, I want to take you to something that happened in the BLM yesterday. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? The attack on La République du Cameroon, La République du Cameroon army, ladies and gentlemen, in the BLM, the Red Dragons of the BLM, they went out yesterday and laid ambush. 2 trucks, 2 army trucks of the République du Cameroon. And what you are about to see was the result of that ambush. You take a look, please.
La Republic forces and this, General Bright, alongside the squad, today at the 19th December 2021. They approach my target. They approach my target. They approach my target. They approach my target. They approach my target.
No dog, no day, no dog, no day. Na chop radar. No chop radar, we'll finish them. We will finish them. Yes. Today not today. Today not today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, those were the Red Dragons of the BLM in action yesterday. And this happened precisely at a locality called Njenawung. Njenawung is one of those little villages inside the BLM, and this attack took place over there. We cannot give you the number of casualties, but of course, looking at these images, you can tell that possibly nobody came out alive in this attack, in this ambush from the BLM yesterday. That is what we can tell. Again, this attack took place in a little village called Njenawung. Njenawung is in Alo, LGA, in the BLM. And of course, again, we cannot tell you the number of casualties, but I must say that it is apparent nobody, look at that, nobody survived. Nobody survived that attack. Nobody possibly survived that attack in the BLM yesterday. We give all our thanks to the Red Dragons. And this is what we want to see, ladies and gentlemen, in FACO in the coming days. This is what the international community need to see to determine our resolve to free ourselves from the yoke of French Cameroon colonialism. This is what needs to be taking place everywhere, every town and village and city in Ambazonia. It is only with such demonstrations that the world, the international community, so-called, is going to take us seriously. When actions like this begin to litter every town, every city in Ambazonia. So that was it. Now, let me get to this corruption thing, ladies and gentlemen, in La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon. Let me get to that. You must have seen the video making the rounds. You must have seen the videos making the rounds in the social media of a lady at the Yaoundé airport yelling at her lungs about the corruption that goes on in every place in that country, Cameroon. You will not believe, to travel, you have to get to the airport, be it in Douala or in Yaoundé. You have to get a COVID-19 test. You pay 100,000 CFA francs to get the test conducted. Now, to pass the test, your money has to work, which means you can only pass the test if you pay 100,000 francs. You can only pass the test if you pay or make a payment of 100,000 francs. You make the payment, you are sure to pass the test. But you don't make the payment, you are failed, and you are prevented from traveling. You don't make the payment of 100,000 CFA francs, you are made to fail the COVID test. And then, of course, you are prevented from traveling. I have not seen that happening in any country in the world. Most countries in the world minister these tests for free to their citizens. But in Cameroon, even when you have it, so even if you have it, you pay 100,000 francs, they give you a negative report. You proceed to your destination and spread the thing to whosoever you're meeting. That is the level of corruption going on in Cameroon. Thank God it is not my country. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God it is not Amazonia. We do not know why anybody looking at the level of corruption and fraud in that country would want any Anglo-Saxon citizen who lives with principles, ladies and gentlemen, to have any form of association living together with La République du Cameroon with such level of corruption and fraudulent activities. We hope that the international community begins to understand why Amazonia is gone, never to return. We are not prone to such level of fraud and corruption. That's why also we're looking for a country of our own. Ladies and gentlemen, I am just laying the foundation to this broadcast here today. Again, I'm having a very powerful panel here tonight. And for those of you who are joining, again, by way of Facebook, I want to see those numbers jumping. If you have joined the platform, join Facebook, please hit your share button. Hit your share button because we're just about to start. Hit your share button. Now let me take you to something else, ladies and gentlemen. You look at this image here. I want to take you to the University of Bamenda. The University of Bamenda with the graduation of Lele Lafrique, the graduation of Lele Lafrique in Bamenda. Now, the images I bring to you now, these were taken a few days ago, precisely December the 15th, ladies and gentlemen, at the University of Bamenda, showing the last graduation in which Colonial Governor Lele Lafrique in Bamenda went home with a master's degree, the first student in the class. Take a look at this. Now, he is not here. I just want to show you what happened, the excitement of re-graduates. Listen to this.
Graduation in the University of Bamenda today, the 16th of December 2021. An exciting moment for most young people in Cameroon. They are actually in their graduation robe and trying to catch a glimpse of the day, rally around and get some snapshots to keep this day a memorable one. And actually, as of now, I'm talking to Prof. Yes, today was graduation. How was it, Engineer Do?
Because this is the pioneer
batch of the National Higher Polytechnic Institute.
To have a Bachelor of Engineering as a pioneer student in this institution is really...
It's not a day job.
Yes, 4 years is not 4 days.
Mr. Duna, I can see you are very happy.
I'm very happy today, my friend, especially this very day on my graduation day. I'm very happy.
Wow.
To have a degree in the Faculty of Law and Political Science is not a day job, my friend.
An upcoming barrister.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy.
Prof, what do you have to say on this graduation?
Well, I'm overwhelmed. They say education is like a continuous process.
Yes.
After completing maybe from the higher teacher training college, I deem it necessary and fit to maybe extend the knowledge in the faculty. That's why I had to come back into the accounting department to maybe obtain a degree, a first degree, to enable me apply for masters. Then from there now I can push ahead to impact more knowledge to myself first, then now to have knowledge which I can help in assisting Cameroonians into the classroom.
Actually, you are a very resourceful person because you are already in the classroom and you want more knowledge in order to impact the generations fully. Thank you so much and congratulations. It's your day, enjoy yourself. Wow, a graduation ceremony. Bro, how you did? How's the graduation? Amazing. Here in Bambili, 16th of December 2021. We are actually witnessing one of the memorable days in the life of a student, graduation after your end of year course, either 3 or 4 or 5 years, depending on your school. We have 12 schools, 6 faculties, and 6 schools in the University of Bamenda, all gathered here today to witness the graduation of their final year students in the 11th graduation ceremony organized by the university. On the anchor was MC Legend. It's all about Africa to the world. Thank you so very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, that was the graduation that took place on December 16, during which colonial governor of Bamenda was said to have bagged a master's degree from that university. Now, the strange thing about the master degree backed by the colonial governor is that the colonial governor, now this is what happens nowhere. This doesn't happen anywhere. The colonial governor took less than a year. It took him less than a year, ladies and gentlemen, to back that degree, that master's degree. And he did not only bag the master degree. Ladies and gentlemen, he came first. The colonial governor came first in his class, in law. I mean, the master degree was in law, and the colonial governor came first in the class. Now, you may be wondering why this is important. This is important not only because the governor bagged a master's degree in less than a year, but it tells you about the standards that we are now having in the educational system in Amazonia. This has gone on for years, and it is one of the reasons why we are fighting for a free and independent Amazonia. Never, ever has anybody graduated from a master's degree, ladies and gentlemen, in less than 1 year. Not even online, not even an expedited course online has somebody graduated under a year in a master's, with a master's degree. But the governor did it. And from an Anglo-Saxon institution in Ambazonia, tell me why anybody, anywhere would recognize any degrees coming either from Bamenda or coming from Boya. I remember a few years ago when you counted the first 1,000 universities in the world, Boya used to feature amongst them. But today, you count the first 10,000 universities in the world, ladies and gentlemen, Boya cannot be amongst them. Talk less of Bamenda. And the reason? Because of degrees like the one backed by so-called governor of the Northern Zone, Lele Lafrette. Now, I also want to bring to you here, I'd like you to stay put and listen to this audio. Audio coming from, ladies and gentlemen, a lecturer, a teacher in the classroom in Bamenda, the University of Bamenda. Listen to what the students, our students are being taught in that school. Listen to that.
Every type of these three of the French policy have their function. In the policy of the thief, the quantity of good is and the route is determined at advance. In the policy to the thief, the quantity of good is not determined. The duration of the contract of the insurance is indefinite.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you've only listened to that thing for about 39 seconds. Do you even understand whatever this so-called lecturer at the University of Bamenda is saying? He doesn't even appear like somebody who masters the subject. Talk less of the ability to communicate to the students. Now listen to it.
For example, if I want to ship my good to China, I can use the policy on the trip. My good is 1 container.
My good is 1 container. What does that mean in English? Again, this is an English class, ladies and gentlemen, in our Anglo-Saxon system. And who do you find there? A francophone. I don't even know what subject is teaching there, but it doesn't appear like a science subject or mathematics, not at all. But you can figure out whether anybody graduating from such a university can say he is coming from a university. Our children are being slaughtered educationally in these institutions. Listen to more.
I will travel to Cameroon, to China. That is a route, and the quantity of goods. That is in the
well, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. So again, those are the kind of teachers that we are having in the classrooms in Ambazonia. You find them everywhere. Now, you will all recall that this conflict that has now gone on for 5 years started over teachers' protests, over conditions like this one in our classrooms. The teachers went on the street protesting the presence of Francophone teachers who understand nothing, like this gentleman speaking this Franc-Anglais or whatever they call it in our universities. 5 years into this struggle, ladies and gentlemen, we still have these francophone teachers in our classrooms doing just the same thing this war started over. How many of you really believe or really think that the Republic du Cameroon is about to pull out of Amazonia? If for 5 years, after 5 years, they are just doing the same thing the war started over. And some of you are saying, let's give up, let's surrender, let's walk away, let's sit down with them, let's negotiate with them. If for 5 years and over 30,000 people killed, they still have French judges, French teachers in our classrooms, and their master degree holders are graduating in less than a year, ladies and gentlemen. You think that if we surrender now, just tell me what you think gonna happen. We have not started this war. If any of you think that we have started the war, we haven't started, because La République du Cameroun is not about to pull out, not even their teachers, talk less of their military. They are ready, they are prepared to push, to enforce anything upon you, upon us, at every cost. Every cost. And some of you out there thinking that we're supposed to just surrender now. You surrender now, you will be slaves of La République du Cameroun for eternity. Please, and those of you who are taking this struggle for politics, I bet you we will not accept it. We will not take it. We will never take it. This war hasn't started because La République du Cameroun hasn't pulled an inch, hasn't done anything to prove that they are about to sit down and talk with Amazonians. No, they are not ready. And this is the reason why this war will go on and on. If it is going to take another 30 years, we have no choice. I am only appealing to all of you on ground zero. You got to guide your loins and know that we are in this for a long run. We are in this for a long run. This is not ending tomorrow, because as you can see, the same teachers we protested, which led to this conflict, they are still there teaching in pidgin English to master degree students. How do you imagine that? How do you tell? How do you say La République is ready to surrender, ready to give up? They are not ready, and I must tell you, if you are out there playing politics with this struggle, you will be booted out. You will be booted out. And the moment is now, it is now that has to happen. Let me not go into that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very disheartening to see what is going on in our territory after 5 years of genocide, killings of our people. Please, nobody should be deceived on ground zero. Nobody should be deceived on ground zero. La République du Cameroun is not ready to make any concessions as far as this conflict is concerned. Again, they still have the French lawyers and the French attorney general, the procureurs and the commissaire le gouvernement or what, they still have those things. They still have them in our courtrooms. They still have the gendarmes in our territory. They still have their military. They still have their teachers teaching in pidgin English in our classrooms. They are not ready for any concession yet. That is why every county in Amazonia, must make sure there is firepower, ladies and gentlemen, firepower in your neck of the wood. We must choke La République du Cameroun in every county and local government area in Amazonia. We don't do that, we think that we're going to be running and hiding, it's going to make no impact. It will make no impact. Afcon is coming to Amazonia. In order, the international community is saying so that the matches should be suspended or cancelled, is that there is COVID-19. COVID-19. The international community wants to see more corpses of French Cameroon soldiers before they can begin to say there is war in Amazonia. Now they say it is COVID, which means we're not killing them enough, ladies and gentlemen. We're not killing them enough for the international community to ride out there to testify that, yes, Cameroon soldiers are losing their lives in Amazonia. That is what it means. We have to push them to the point where the so-called international community can begin to change the narrative. No, the problem in Amazonia and Cameroon is not COVID-19. The problem is war and genocide. That is what they need to hear. And it is incumbent upon us to make that to happen. Every county in Amazonia, a French Cameroon army is your enemy. A French Cameroon official is your enemy. A French Cameroon police gendarme is your enemy. A French Cameroon colonial divisional officer is your enemy. A French Cameroon delegate, whatever delegate, ladies and gentlemen, is your enemy. They are our slave masters. It is time we begin to change the narrative of this world by giving the story to the international community that we are getting rid of them. That's what we need to start to do. All right. Let me get to my guest here before I get to the other subject of this story. I am joined, ladies and gentlemen, by, I have three guests here. I don't see one. I think one is out. I will be joined by Comrade Monja, Samuel Monja Mbwa. And of course, I also have here with me Mark Barretta, ladies and gentlemen. And I have also the one and only Secretary of State, Dr. Kizito Elad. Good to see you, sir. Let me start with you. Comrade Barretta, it's a pleasure to have you, sir. Good evening from London. Comrade Barretta, it appears I cannot hear you. Are you muted at your end? Is your microphone turned on? Somehow I cannot hear you. All right, just check your microphone and I'll get back to you, sir. While you do that, let me get to the Honorable Wonja Mbua. Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Hello, Honorable Monja.
Good evening.
Good to see
Hello.
you. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. It's my pleasure to come in front of your TV, inviting me. I'm very happy. I want to greet all the Ambazonian watching this television, watching me now presently live. I hope we are going to have a nice time, a nice debate today, this evening. I think there are things we have to make the Ambazonian people to know. I think I don't want us to talk on restrictions. There are things we have to talk today. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. We'll also have in the House Secretary Elad Kizito here at the interim government. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you, Secretary Chris. Thank you so much. Great to see you too. And greetings to all the Ambazonians, and especially our restoration forces. And I don't want to call them our refugees in Ground One. Let me say our people in Ground One. So I'm glad to be on your platform today, Secretary Chris.
All right, thank you. We were also supposed to have been joined by Dr. Epa. He's not with us yet, but let's start with this subject of education in our institutions in Amazonia. Now, all of you are aware that we started this conflict, or this conflict started over the quality of education, the quality of education that was being dished out in our institutions from the primary to the universities. We realized, gentlemen, that 5 years after, nothing has changed. And yet, you have people around us who want us, who try to persuade us to say, you know, let's just sit down and talk and surrender and lay down our tools. But to me, it is a sign that La République du Cameroon is not ready to concede anything yet in this war. Let me start with Honorable Munja. Honorable Munja, please, go on.
It's a very, very good point to take notes. We have been maltreated under our educational standards. I will give example of myself. I'm not good in French. I don't know anything about French. When we were in primary school, I think I was in class 6, primary school moyen. We had only one French teacher who just came and they introduced him to us. We knew nothing about French and nobody was even attending the class. Right up to BBSS to BHS, I think French was our major problem. However, we only realized that gradually our system of education was changing through the Francophone way of doing their things. Bringing their teachers from one to become two, become to be headmaster in French in a primary school. That's how it started. But I think people who had those visions, they saw it. Like Molan Jolly of Memories and Ngeka Luma of Tico. I think he stated that thing long time ago on Radio Boya, about the educational system want to be corrupted by the French, hijacked by the French. So what we are seeing is not something today. It has just manifested itself out. It's something that has been hidden for a long time. Okay, take for example, they removed Professor Madame Dorothy Njoma, took her to Yaoundé. She's an Anglophone professor, a doctor. That's the first lady professor in the whole of Republic of both the Amazonia and La République. That's the first lady who had PhD. But where is she today? She was suppressed. She was just the vice minister of education for a very long time. So it's not today it started. We have to fight. What we are doing the right thing. I will not sit down and see our children going under this torment of education, the whole of Amazonia. That is true. What you are saying is true. We cannot sit down and say we have to fight and see that we take what belongs to us. Thank you. That's my small contribution.
All right. Thank you. I don't know whether Mark Barretta can get...
Yes.
All right, good. So, Mark, let me take this to you. You graduated, I believe, from the University of Boya under similar conditions that we are talking about today. 5 years after, nothing has changed. What would you say to lecturers, the vice chancellors and the lecturers in this university and the attitude of La République du Cameroon?
I think, Chris, it is really appalling. It is really appalling, and that is the reason why we must continue to fight. Because, in 2016, while we went out, these lecturers in the University of Bamenda, in the University of Boya, pulled us out and abandoned us at some point along the way. The truth is, nothing has changed. If we look at the reasons why lecturers and teachers went on the streets and called for of reforms, nothing has changed, and it is, in fact, it is going now from bad to a worst. It is appalling to hear that a francophone, a colonial governor in the northern zone was was the top in his class in Bamenda. Someone who can't even express himself in plain English language. Someone who never even had the time to go to the university and study. Someone who used someone else to carry out his assignment. Then is the top in his law class, the first. So there are no sons and daughters from the former British Cameroon in University of Bamenda who could top the class. I think it's a shame, and it reminds us, it gives us the reasons why we must continue to push on. At every step of the way, French Cameroon government, their citizens, they continue to give us reasons we must hang on this fight. That is it, Chris. It's a shame. We saw it in UB. We are seeing it now in University of Bamenda, and we must keep on fighting. We must.
Now, the governor graduating from the University of Bamenda under 1 year with a master's degree in law. What do you make of that?
It is. You see, they are rubbishing. I think it is a deliberate act. You know, it's a deliberate act. They don't even want that the certificates coming from University of Bamenda to be recognized. We know that Bamenda is a war-torn area. I don't even know when he went to the university. Talk less of having his masters under 1 year. I know that within the European system there are some masters program you can have for 1 year, but it is compressed. It is compressed, and mostly it is not a research master. University of Bamenda is a baby university. They are not at a level to even offer a compressed master for 1 year, for 1 year. So what French Cameroon government is doing, they are using the colonial governor to give us a slap on our face. They are trying to pass us a message. And Chris, we must respond, and we must respond forcefully and quickly.
Oh, absolutely. But again, the point I drove home with this subject is that if anybody thinks that La République du Cameroon is ready to concede, as some are saying, oh, they are done, they are over. No, we still have the teachers, those same teachers in our classrooms, as you heard in that short audio there. We still have their magistrates, the procureurs and the commissaire de gouvernement on staff, the gendarmes everywhere in Ambazonia. Now, if anybody thinks they are about to concede, no, this is the indication that they are about to concede nothing, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Listen, some people say Cameroon don't want to give up. They want to keep on. They still believe that they can win the war militarily. Even in the University of Bamenda, they have lecturers who are just there as spies. They are there as spies to monitor. I read a communique from the French Cameroon president, who is, of course, Ngongo, saying that
yes, I was going to come to that.
Lecturers, yes, our lecturers in the University of Bamenda and Boya should be monitored, because they think some of them have feelings for Ambazonian. In fact, every born Ambazonian is a separatist by birth. we had their prime minister who went to Boya. Is it no? Who went to Bamenda and he was speaking all Amba language. It is inborn. There is no way you cannot investigate something which is inborn. You know, so they are spying on our communities, and we cannot let that happen. They are touching a very every country. The education system of every country is a backbone of every country. That is why they started by destroying our educational system, and they haven't given up. They continue to do it with such impunity. They continue to do it with no regret. They continue to do it with some fanfare. You know, they don't care. So every day, these actions from French Cameroon government gives us the reasons to say, guys, we cannot stop. We just need to continue to make the ground hot, form our forces on the ground to take these colonizers out once and for all.
Thank you. Honorable Wanja, you are from FACO, and you know that it is the same thing going on in the southern zone, the University of Boya in particular. Again, but we have elite, so-called elite, the Ngoles, the Ngos, and so on, you name them. The Dion Ngutes, who want us to believe that, listen, La Republic is doing everything to bring this conflict to an end. Of course, they don't call it a conflict, they call it a crisis. But when we repeatedly see things like this, tell me, how do they think they can convince any Ambazonian that they are all saying these things in good faith? Monja.
Okay, let me just chip in something about what Mark Barata was saying about the master's degree program. You see, here in England, you can take 1 year to have your master's degree. That is true.
Not under 1 year. Now remember in Bamenda, Lele Afrique did not take 1 year. He took, I'm not even sure, it took 6 months.
I know. Let me come in.
All right.
What they are doing is just to camouflage that he went to school, he has master's degree, everything is fine. In Bamenda, there's no war, school is going on. He, as the governor, the colonial governor, so the international community will say, oh, if the governor, but let me tell you, it's a big mistake, because there is nobody who take first or second in master's degree, depend on your course. That's a big mistake. Try to understand me. There's nothing like first or second in master's degree.
Well, he took first in this class, and that is a francophone cacophony.
Yes, to show how low their mentality of education is.
Right.
I live in Coventry here. Yes, I study in Coventry University here. To have master's degree, you have credits, 15 credits of each module you are doing. When you pass, you have passed. They don't say you take first or second. So it's a mistake already. So it's a lie. That's a big lie already. In the international scene, it's a big lie.
All
so
right.
Let's that already. So cancel that out.
Thank you. Let's get to Dr. Ella. Dr. Ella, this thing is, again, about the watering down of educational standards in Ambazonia. That is what this is all about. And again, this war escalated out of grievances by these same teachers, Ambazonian teachers, and 5 years into the war, there is no sign that La Republic of Cameroon is not even ready to concede or to talk about a ceasefire. Talk less of the reforms that this war is predicated upon. Talking about education, Dr. Elad, please.
Hear me?
Yes? Go on.
Good. Well,
we can't hear you, Dr. Elad. I don't know why.
You can't hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. Go on.
No, we can't hear.
Okay, so, my young people have already spoken, and well, it's not something we have to sit here and be pondering, deliberating the whole time about Lele Afrique. It's just a laughing stock. I come from a school that is renowned and well known. If from Ambazonia and our neighbors over in La République du Cameroon, St. Joseph College Sase. And I might say, I don't know if it's still the school that I know when I was there, because we were doing what we call education, what you are talking now about. We were studying, you know, we were following what Malcolm X once said, education is the passport to the future. This so-called, what do they call him, Lele Afrique or governor, whatever they call him. You've heard him several times speaking English. And then he went and studied masters in English at the Anglo-Saxon University. And he came out as the best, #1 in his class. Well, I think Secretary Chris, let's be honest with ourselves, it's just a mockery on himself, not to us. But the only thing that concerns me is that he is trying to degrade our institution in Anglo-Saxon in Ambazonia. He's trying to make the international community things. These are the people who made, look, I will give an example here. When I wanted to research for my PhD, I went to a school, there is a university here called the Berlin Graduate School of the Berlin Graduate School of whatever, that was sponsored by the British under the Queen. And when I met the proprietor of that school, I presented all my certificate. Most importantly, those certificates I got it here in Germany with the ones I brought from Russia. When I presented it here at the school, Berlin Graduate School of Education, when I presented it here, he said I should bring, how do you call this thing? The test of knowledge of English. And I told him, I have studied all my life in English. And I speak that English. He said, well, you know, I have been in, I have visited the Boya University, and well, I listened to how the children there, they speak English. I'm sorry to tell you that it's not of standard. And look, to cut a long story short, I dealt with that man because I told him, Mr. He was I think he was the assistant, whatever, in the school in charge of education. I told him, only from your German accent, the way you speak English, will never compare with my English that I'm speaking now. I am an Anglo-Saxon and you are a German, and you don't speak that English. Your own boss, who is here, who just spoke with us, his English is horrible. And I was so mad, and I bet you, Secretary Chris, I will look for the email that that guy had to write to me and apologize and ask me to bring my document to study in that Berlin Graduate School of Social Science. It was Berlin Graduate School of Social Science, and I refused and went to the Potsdam University where I graduated as a doctor in international law and diplomacy. Let me tell you, these are the people who make the international community to think just a minute to degrade the educational system of Amazonia. So for the Lele Afrik, I wish him good luck with his fake master degree that he has been given. I don't know wherever he will use it. He will use it now for Ngongo to increase his salary as a master degree worker. That's just all, because he cannot use it anywhere. Nobody will employ such an idiot in any school, because he's having a master degree in English, but the English he cannot even speak. So how is he going to continue his studies? He will keep buying the degrees as he does. So I would like us to really talk something on Amazonia than.
Yes, talking about that, let's discuss one more thing about this education thing, gentlemen. You are now aware of an order from the presidency of La République du Cameroon instructing the vice chancellors in the University of Bamenda and that of Boya to submit the phone numbers, contacts, in their contacts of all lecturers in both universities to Yaoundé, precisely at the Ministry of Higher Education. Essentially what they are trying to do is to police the lecturers in both universities in Bamenda and in Boya. Again, this goes to point to the fact that La République du Cameroon is just not ready. La République du Cameroon is just not ready to concede in this war. Now, would you find the guy you find on the screen? That is the guy who rules Cameroon now. They call him Ferdinand Ngo. The order for lecturers in Bamenda and Boya to be monitored came from him. Now it says, presidency orders all Amber lecturers to be monitored. The two VCs order to submit all lecturers' numbers, phone numbers, to the Ministry of Higher Education. Presidency says some of these lecturers have been supporting separatists, ladies and gentlemen. But again, this is one of those issues that started this struggle. Mark Barretta, what do you make of this, sir? That again, 5 years after, the teachers who started this are being monitored.
I'm even ashamed that lecturers in the University of Boya and the University of Bamenda, they are quiet as of now. You know, this is something that they should have, come out with a statement and refuse outrightly. They have a right of privacy to their phone contacts. So I think it just shows how French Cameroon has no trust. They have no trust in any lecturer in the University of Bamenda or Boya. And I think lecturers in the University of Bamenda, I know some of them are watching now from ground zero. They are watching now across Bamenda, and they're watching in Victoria, they're watching in Boya. They have to stand up. They have to stand up. The fight is not yet over. They have to stand up to this tyranny from Ferdinand Gongo from French Cameroon. They have to stand up to the vice chancellors to tell both of them, the lady in Bamenda and the man in Boya, that we will not succumb. We will not succumb. And they need to start taking actions. Of course, as Amazonians, we are doing what we are supposed to do to keep the revolution going. The revolution is fought in so many facets. These lecturers, they need to come out with a powerful statement. They need to rise up to show the world what French Cameroon is doing. And again, it goes down to rubbish the useless and so-called special status. Power still lies in Yaoundé. Nothing has changed.
Wanja, what is your take on this, sir?
Yes. You know, our lecturers, let me tell you something. They are going to school, not that going to teach, to work, not that because they are happy. They are not happy. If you look at their salary, it's very, very, very low. It's below standards. Yes, they are just doing it to keep themselves going and to make sure that our children are well educated. This law, this resolution which I've sent to them that their phone should be monitored, comes from our own, not from even from Gongo, my brother. It's from our own people inside that government, like Antanganji and the rest. You get me right?
Yes,
They're
and
the one who have
Ngole of the world.
Yes, they are the one who have influenced Ngongo to do what he's doing. Mark you, Paul Biya does not even know what is happening in Cameroon anymore. That man is old, he's finished. So what they are doing, they are just winding time for the war. Let the war continue from this stage to this stage. Let me tell you something. Those lecturers, if I were them, were going to cause a big strike, a big one. Both Boya University and Bamenda University. We are going to tell the government, I think they are watching us talking now. They're just going to tell the La Republic government that, look, we are lecturers. We are not part of politics in that country. We are just lecturers. You have no right to go into our privacy, into our phone. If not, then we stop teaching. Full stop. That's all. Because this is just to threaten that we don't have rights in our own land. Our people don't have rights. Nobody is free. Not only the lecturers, even those working in that government, they are not free.
The question I will ask though, especially, let me put this to Mark Barretta, who is an activist. What can those teachers do? What can those lecturers do? Mark?
Yes, I think Comrade Wanja has said it already. It's clear. They need to come together as one full body. Those in Bamenda, those in Boya, put out a very strong statement and hands down, stop and say, listen, from this day we are no more going to the university to teach until Gongo resent what he set out. Once the teachers or the lecturers are out, and University of Boya and Bamenda's students, when they stay out for 1, 2, 3 weeks and they're not being taught, then you will know the after effect of that auction. And we as separatists, we know what to do. We're not going to come here live and speak. The lecturers need to take action. The only non-violent action feasible they can take now is to write a very powerful statement and copy the copyables, hands down their pen, stay home and don't go to the university. That's
all right. Dr. Elad, in 1 minute, give us what would you suggest for those lecturers in Boya and Bamenda to do, please?
Well, my suggestion match with what Mark Barata just said, stay home. Because number one, we have already said it succinctly that we cannot guarantee their safety. The same thing we are doing, I know we'll talk about Afcon, so we cannot guarantee the safety also of the student. So asking even the lecturers to go out and make a very huge strike and all that, you cannot do that. And Wonja talk about law and all that. There is no law in La République du Cameroon. They don't even know what they call law. That's why you can see their colonial governor going to buy a paper called master degree. They know no law. That's one. Two, we have been sacrificing for 5 years. they should also learn how to sacrifice. They should sit home and stop going there. What are they going to teach? Who are they teaching? We are saying when we will regain back our territory, our educational system, and everything that we're fighting to get, we will get a decent education. And those children will be top Anglo-Saxon students in the world. Give some time to sacrifice yourself. So there is no right. You see what you people saw when this thing started. Those brutes, how they enter right in the university, beating students, beating professors, beating lawyers, because they have guns in their hands. And that very gun is what we are turning it on them now, and we will deal with them. Let them tell the professors or the lecturers or whoever they call themselves, go home, sit down, allow us to fight this fight till the end. Give us the
thank you. And I guess that is very, very critical, because I would say to those lecturers, if we are still at war, and La République du Cameroon is doing this in the middle of war that began over protests on the educational system, they are still doing this now. I don't know if the teachers think there is anything better in the pipeline. They must be living in a different world. So this is the recommendation. If you're a lecturer in any of those universities, and the high schools too, because I know for sure they are coming after you. They are coming after you. The time has come. You lay down your tools and say, damn you, La République du Cameroon. We are not going to submit our privacies to your satisfaction. That should never happen. And I want to hope that all the human rights groups out there will take this case up and call the bluff of that republic, that you cannot invade people to the extent of monitoring their phone activities. That should never be allowed to happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you find on your screen, I'd like us to move to this other subject, the subject of the Afcon matches, tournament taking place or being forced upon us in Ambazonia. Ambazonians have stated very clearly, even here at the interim government, Ambazonians would not want to see Afcon taking place in their territory. The interim government has essentially banned it. And this is the reason we have banned Afcon. We do not want to see those matches taking place in our territory because somebody will die. Somebody will die, and La République du Cameroon will put it upon Ambazonia Restoration Forces. We do not want that narrative. The second reason is this: La République du Cameroon doesn't have the security apparatus to ensure the security of the visitors coming from Europe and the rest of Africa, the players, the match officials, the hotels, and everything out there. They do not have that capability. So security is a problem. But then, not only that, ladies and gentlemen, Ambazonian security is also another problem. Now we have learned. I read you this communique coming from, let me bring to you this communique, coming from the colonial mayor or the colonial divisional officer out there in FACO. Now, he has put out a statement that says, the senior divisional officer for FACO hereby informs the general public that by a prefectorial order signed on this day, all nocturnal ceremonies are prohibited within the entire FACO division during the period from the 15th of December 2021 to the 15th of February 2022. I don't want to read the entire thing there, but you can tell for yourself that Afcon is not coming to Ambazonia for any good reason, it is going to squeeze your liberties. Every activity has been banned out there in Fako County by the colonial administrators in that town. There will be no meetings. There will be no parties, no death celebrations, nothing. You cannot come out in the night. That is what they are doing. Now, you will recall that La République du Cameroon is also hosting this competition. You do not see any such statement coming from Douala, coming from Yaoundé, only in Fako County. I am also aware that right now, leaving Tico for Douala takes about 8 hours. 8 hours. The same thing, leaving Douala for Tico, Victoria is taking 8 hours, ladies and gentlemen. 8 hours for a journey that would normally take, I think, less than an hour. Less than an hour. The journey is now taking 8 hours. Why? The security checks between Tico and Douala. The security checks. So if you are leaving Victoria, Kumbao, anywhere, driving to Douala, be prepared to spend 8 hours, especially if you are coming from the Douala end. Be prepared to spend 8 hours. Now tell me, how is it good? How is this good for Ambazonians? How does this make Afcon look good for Ambazonians? This is again not happening in the other side of the Mongol. It is only happening in Ambazonia. How does this make Afcon look good? There have been a ban on all economic and social activities in the evening. A ban on all gatherings. There is the army everywhere. The army, French Cameroon colonial army, is everywhere from Moloka to Tico to Victoria, including Boyamoya, of course. They are everywhere, both in uniform and in civil. They are everywhere, harassing, abducting, and taking ransoms, squeezing hard-earned currency from Ambazonians, of course. Again, this is not happening in La République du Cameroon. They are here arresting and torturing innocent people in Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, when we say no Afcon in Ambazonia, we say so because we will defend ourselves against these illegalities and criminalities being forced upon Ambazonians by La République du Cameroon and the African Union. CAF is all about the African Union. The African Union did not negotiate, did not collaborate with Ambazonian authorities to put these matches together. If the African Union has forgotten, I remind them that Ambazonia, the southern Cameroons, has long severe ties with La République du Cameroon. We used to be one country, somehow forced upon us. But September 22, 2017, we called their bluff and we walked out. And we are still out for after 5 years, and we will stay out, and we will do everything to stay out. And that is why every Ambazonian out there on ground zero, you've got to do everything to stop that so-called Afcon taking place on the soil of Ambazonia. If this is the moment, this is the moment, every Ambazonian becomes a soldier. You don't have to be in Fako to be a soldier. You don't have to be in Victoria to be a soldier. You don't have to be in Boya, Tico, Mutengene, Moya, Moyoka, Ikona. You don't have to be there. You can be a soldier in your village in Nkambe, in your village in Wum, in your village in Menji, in your village in Batibo, everywhere, for as long as we take the attention of the world that Afcon is not welcome in Ambazonia. That is what we want. but also very, very important for those living in Victoria. This is our game to lose, ladies and gentlemen. We have to grab this opportunity. The international community wants to see that there is war in Ambazonia. I hope everybody gets this. The international community is watching. They want to know from the outcome of this tournament that indeed there is a conflict in Ambazonia, between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon. Therefore, if these matches take place in Ambazonia, you got no story to tell, no narrative to tell, or to say to the international community that we are at war. La République du Cameroon would have won the propaganda war. Yes, they would have won the propaganda war. So everybody in FACO must be a soldier. A soldier. Whatever that you can do from your own powers, within your own powers, ladies and gentlemen, to stop this Afcon nonsense. You got to do it. You got to do it. And again, I can't say this enough. We here at the Ambazonian interim government, we have passed a message to Afcon officials and to all the nations, the countries descending on Ambazonia, that you are not welcome, and you lose your players, you will have yourself to blame. We are at war. Ambazonia is at war, and Ambazonians' lives matter better than football, than the Cup of Nations, ladies and gentlemen. You will have no security anywhere in any hotel in Ambazonia. You will have no security in anywhere in any stadium in Ambazonia. That is the message we bring to you. Stay away from Ambazonia, and we mean this. Mike Barretta, I'll come back to you, sir, on this subject. La République du Cameroon is doing everything that they can to send a message to the international community that only some crises are going on. There is no war. You can see, we just organized the African Cup of Nations. We hosted it in Victoria. Nothing happened. We organized the CHAN. Nothing happened. Isn't this what they want the international community to hear, sir?
Because it is war, we are officially at war with French Cameroon. And when it comes to war, there are things legally within our powers that we must do. And I agree that we have offered code red. We have declared Amazonia as a red zone. And we have sent warning to every CAF organization, every football player who is coming to Amazonia, that in FACO, in Victoria, and in Boya, that is code. It is a red zone. And when it is a red zone, when it is a war zone, anything can happen. Like you said, Chris, French Cameroon is trying to win the propaganda war. They are trying to tell the world that they have it under control. And once they win this propaganda war to tell the world that they have it under control, at the end of the day, they can use everything possible to prolong the war. I know there are people on ground zero, wherever you are, whether in diaspora, all of us, we want to go back home. All of us, we want to arrive Boya in one piece. And our aim is to make sure we shorten this war by flushing French Cameroon out of Amazonia, by winning French Cameroon militarily, by winning French Cameroon in propaganda way, and also in the field of diplomacy. So it goes upon us, and it is time for us to go back to the foundation. Like I said, where we all come out as one person to make sure we puncture that narrative. And we must do it diplomatically, we must do it on social media, and we must do it on the ground. What French Cameroon is doing also, let me also explain this angle. What they are doing, they want to politically blackmail Amazonia. They have been trying for so many years. They have been trying for so many years to tag our revolution as a terrorist revolution. They have been trying to tag our leaders, to tag our activists, to tag our forces as terrorists. And so they are using Afcon now as a perfect opportunity. French Cameroon doesn't care to organize a military operation on the ground and blame it on Ambazonian forces, and then they will say, we told you that these people are terrorists. Then they will get the sympathy of CAF, they will get the sympathies of those other foreign players who are coming from other countries, so that they can push the UN and relative authorities to tag us as terrorists. No, we are self-defense volunteers, and by any scope of the word, the same as those in USA fought the British and defended the land, we are also going to defend our land, and we will refuse French Cameroon that narrative. We will puncture it. We will send out the warning. Listen, these foreign players who are coming from Tunisia and all those teams who are coming to play in Ambazonia, we are now giving you the official warning that in Ambazonia it's a red zone. Do not go to Ambazonia, because we will not be held responsible for anything that happens. Our forces are there. They are guerrilla fighters. They are everywhere in spirit. They have the duty to protect the land, because they know French Cameroon wants to use this game to portray a false image to the world that they are in control. No, they're not in control. We are in control of our communities. We're in control of our cities. We're in control of our villages. We're in control of our game. We rule the land. And now is the time for us to do everything possible. We have the opportunity to make this possible, and we will do it. So, Amazonians, we need to target like on Twitter all these foreign organizations, especially those who are scheduled to play in Ambazonia.
We're going to get to them, Mike. Mike, we're going to get to that. Hold on there. Let me get to Comrade Muja there. Comrade, these matches are scheduled for your own neck of the woods. I'm talking about FACO, and we know that FACO throughout during this conflict has not really shown us, demonstrated they are able to stop these encounters every Monday. Victoria looks okay. Only part of Boya, from Moya, I guess, to around the university area, looks like that is ghost town. Just the whole area, life goes on. Is FACO ready to stop this? Because we can talk of all Amazonia, but it's FACO first.
Okay, Secretary Chris, that's a very, very good and complex question. Let me tell you something. For the past 1 year, FACO has been a problem. They have a lot of issue with their defense departments, a lot of issue. Those are things people will not like for me to talk on the national television, international television. Sometimes, when things are too much, we have to explain so that people should understand what is going on.
Comrade Wonja, I don't know
yes.
if Chris Arnold could permit me. Forget, there is no issue in FACO. We will defend FACO. All those French Cameroon forces who are coming to FACO, all those foreign players, let them be aware that they think that there's an issue. There is no issue. There is no issue.
No. I'm just talking. No, I don't say there's an issue that they will not defend them. Why not? We'll face them, of course. But I'm just talking from Secretary Christian question. That's why I'm coming. Because if you see, a lot of confusion for our defense people in FACO doesn't mean we don't have guys fighting. Our guys are doing a tremendous job. Although you people are not getting it. As you said, is not obeying the ghost town and is not obeying the instruction of the revolution. Part of Boya. Let me tell you why FACO has this problem. I know people will not like to list it, but that's the truth. If you look it carefully, those guys who are fighting for FACO are not really they are not FACO people. You understand? You will not get even a single FACO person. If he's there, I've never heard of one who is fighting. The guys who are fighting are mostly guys who are staying in Fako or born in. They are not indigenous in Fako. So to control that type of organization of different background tribes is a bit difficult. Fako is multicultural. That's why even the president, Dr. Sako, is difficult for him to handle it. It's very, very difficult for him to handle it. It's very, very difficult. That's why he has even dissolved the defense team of Fako. He has dissolved it, but we are hoping that he will come out with something tangible that will help for this Afcon as it's going on. As Mark Barata is saying, to talk out is one thing. The strategy in place is another thing. I know Mark Barata has been a very tough guy. I know him for a long from the time of this struggle. I know what he can do. However, from IG point of understanding, they have to put Fako in place in order for us to succeed in this Afcon. That's
Talking about putting Fako in order, it has taken over a year. If you can lift up your camera a little bit, it's cutting your face there. No, the other way around. No, down. Yes, perfect. Yeah, so talking about, I lost my line of thought, but talking about fixing Fako, it has taken over a year, nothing seems to be fixed. What is going on that you in Fako are not able to fix Fako?
No, okay. Let me come out very clearly. This problem has been because of division. You have about 3 different camps which they don't want to come to unite. And they are blaming the president for doing that. That is the truth. But for me, the president is doing that because he's from Fako. I don't think you are from Lebialem. You would like to see the Lebialem not functioning well. So he's just trying to put things in order from my own point of view. But I think he's doing the wrong thing and he's meeting the wrong people. So when he should make an election again for Sako, this is the second time they have dissolved the Fako defense team. When he dissolved it, he gave order to the vice president to make an election for the Fako. And when the vice president did it, forwarded it to him, he rejected it. So it's a lot of confusion. As I'm telling you, I'm not lying. That's the truth. So for now, if any help can come from Fako, will be people from outside. That is the truth. Or they must go and unite to fight. That's the truth. To talk is one thing. To put it in place is another thing. So that's the only thing they can do. So,
Comrade Mag, centralize yourself on the camera, please. Centralize yourself in the camera.
Okay.
Yes,
okay?
Go on, please.
Yes, just to state that the title of this flyer is, Afcon is a national threat. When we have a national threat in any territory in Ambazonia, whether it is in Mezam, Fako, Bui, or Meme, which means we are going to rally all our living forces, spiritual and otherwise, to focus on that area to puncture that threat. As of now, French Cameroon organization of Afcon in Fako, Victoria and Boya is a national threat, which means we will have to, if it means that we fly spiritually from anywhere to Fako to puncture, we will do it. So let the
Mag, when you talk about Fako being a national pride and we must do everything if it means bringing forces from different parts of Ambazonia to defend the land, I totally agree with you. But then the question would be, who are they? Except you are referring to the other restoration forces.
Yes. I'm referring to the other self-defense forces across the land.
Do you have any idea if the ADF is planning to do anything there, if they can?
Well, I want to leave those defense issues to the defense people, but I know that Sokadev will rise up to the task. I know that ADF will rise up to the task. I know that AMF will rise up to the task, and there are many other independent groups that we are not even aware of, who are in civilian mood that are going to rise up to the task.
Are you a little concerned that all along we've seen all these people you mentioned only on the social media?
Chris, I'm not concerned too much, too much, because there are a lot of constraints going on. But again, the message we want to pass across to the foreigners who are watching us, okay, I would like to leave any of our internal issues, because those people who are coming to Barcelona to play, they're not even aware of what is going on amongst us. We must show strength, and we must show that we are ready to the task.
Thank you, Barrister Erland. Mag was talking about another offensive being the diplomatic offensive, and you are the foreign secretary here at the interim government. How much have you done to get the diplomatic community to know that going to Ambazonia is risky for their soldiers, for their players, for their officials?
Again, thank you, Mark, for alerting that we should not expose our internal problems to those strangers coming to our land. They also, every country in the world have their problems. So this is not where we come and talk about that. But coming to the diplomacy, as you know yourself, Secretary Chris, we're doing great. And I want to first of all thank all those Ambazonians who are out there working tirelessly on Twitters, like yourself, Mark, my patients, in fact, those tweeting from morning till night. Unfortunately, myself as the foreign secretary, Twitter has blocked me, but that's not a problem. I see
Twitter is crazy. I got Twitter blocked. Twitter is crazy.
Yeah, we have contacted all, I repeat, all the teams. I mean, even those who are in La République du Cameroon, not just the 6 who are in our territory, because this is their so-called first round, and after they will be interchanging, and when they go to the knockout rounds, quarterfinals, semi-finals, they will still be scheduling some matches in our territory. So we've made them to know, and not only writing to them, talking to them, calling them, telling them the danger that they are putting their delegations, their players, their citizens who will be coming to Ambazonia to watch the match. Because one thing we have to know, Secretary Chris, and that's great that ABS is doing this. A lot of Africans don't even know what is happening in our territory, doesn't even know the genocide that La République is committing in our territory. So they will be carrying themselves. You know, Equatorial Guinea is there, Nigeria is there. They will be crossing over to go, especially Equatorial Guinea. They will be running, coming there to come and watch matches, because they live also in a dictatorial, totalitarian country, which such things are not being shown on TV. So they might be just neighbors there. They don't even know what is happening. So talking about diplomacy, we're working hard on that. It's just Amazonians have to grow up, in the sense that they need everything that we do must come to the table. You have to bring it. When you contact somebody, you talk with all these diplomats and ambassadors and ministers, and You have to go and explain it like I'm explaining it now. I have to tell who I talked to, what I did, and that. And if you don't do that, that means you're doing nothing. But that doesn't mean anything. We don't hear other countries, their diplomats talking what they have done, what they are planning to do, and how they are doing it. So we will not start it with Amazonia. We are working hard on that, Secretary Chris, sleeplessly. And I want to thank the Vice President for taking up that goal, pushing it very hard also, which is a great job. He's doing it.
All right.
Yeah. So let's assure that we have already informed all of them. We even have Ambazonians who promise that even if it's to send letters to them every day through DHL, they are prepared to pay the money so that they keep receiving those letters warning them till they will take their stand.
Thank you, Dr. Elliott. And at this moment, I am going to open the phone lines for members of the public to participate in this discussion. I would like all of you to stay put out there. The phone lines will be right there on your screen. But before you call, please make sure that you turn down the volume of your set. Wow, the callers are coming in already. Before you call, make sure that you turn down the volume of your set, please. Before you call, make sure that you turn down the volume of your set. Let me get to the first caller. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Chris. How are you doing?
I am doing excellent, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Yes, Sebastian Barrico calling from Maryland.
Wonderful. Wonderful. What is your contribution, sir?
Yes, first, I want to thank you for a enormous job. I have very bright pictures, very good sound quality. Thank you again for ADS. And again, can you put Mark on the screen? I want to talk to Mark.
All right. Mark is on the screen.
Yes, Mark, it's a pleasure again seeing you here in ABS. You know, if you were looking at the comments, Secretary Chris, you will see how much people appreciate you. Mark, this is Sebastian Barrico speaking. You have to come back on board. You have to come back on board. If you watch, if you were watching reading the comments on the comment section, Secretary Chris, you will see how people are really appreciating the unity you are trying to build back in Amazonia. People were saying you need to bring back Kuku Dabling, you need to bring Tafang on board, you need to bring Abdul Karim on board. So I think through Mark, he is going to make this possible. Again, Secretary Chris, thanks for the unity you are trying to build through ADS. Again, Mark, you have to go back to work. You have to stop Afcon from getting into Amazonia. I trust what you can do. Mark, you have to go back. You have to go back to work.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Thank you, sir. All right, over to you, Mike.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sebastian. Thanks for that words of encouragement. Of course, I've never gone. I've always been there. It's just that Facebook took away my the biggest mouthpiece, took away my platform since 2018. And I can also tell Chris, you should be aware that I'm also I'm pursuing legal procedures with Facebook, with the country where they are registered officially, Ireland. So I want them to bring back my post. So I'm still there. I'm very active on Twitter. I may have hands off some defense issues to allow people who are in charge to go on. Yeah, we are still there. I think I've rested enough, and it is time to finish the job. I'm back.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mike. And I'd like to add that Mike reached out to me to talk about unity, building unity in stopping this Afcon about taking place in our territory. And I invited him. I seized the opportunity to invite him on ABS. But let me also add this. This television is for every Ambazonian. I don't care which group you belong to, for as much as you believe in the independence, the actualization of the independence of the Southern Cameroons, you have a space here at ABC. Every Ambazonian, again, I don't care about the group you belong to, you are welcome to ABS. Yes, we will build that unity. We will build that unity, and I think this is just the beginning. Let's get to the next caller here. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. Good evening, Dr. Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
Actually, I'm calling from the UK, but I'm using my Cameroon number because I just came back home, actually. Well, I just want to appreciate your efforts on everything you're doing. I've seen you work, we're watching you daily and stuff like that. We've been monitoring you from day one, and we see how you hold on to the cause of everything. And we really appreciate what you're doing based on you bringing up everyone on board. People like Mula Wonja, this Mark Barrett, and everyone around there that we haven't seen for some time. It's something that we really encourage to bring back some new energy and life energy into the revolution that we're fighting. Now, my next point, thank you so much for this, Secretary Chris. We really appreciate that. We're willing to support the TV and everything, and keep bringing them up so we can get point of views from every other angle and know how we can face the main our main enemy, which is La Republique. Well, the advice that you're giving for the teachers down there, I think it's something that we really need to take it serious, because the whole war started from that. All this war started because of that. And
right.
There are not changes, like we haven't done anything. So I think it's just this, we just have to start the war back. It's just a new start again. That's what I'm saying here. It's not something that we just have to give up. So I'm encouraging every Ambazonia, don't give up on your country. We need to buy more arms, put more arms to in the hands of our boys, and keep fighting. This thing, we have to fight it till thy kingdom come. If we don't do that, we're going to go back to serious slavery. We are going back to another level of slavery. We will not even believe your eyes. We will not have a say in anything. If we try to relent and tell these people, let's try and come back to be together, blah, blah, blah. My brothers and sisters, we are dead. We are dead. We're not going to get anything. It's like we've just suffered our loved ones.
We will not.
We have destroyed our land. It's like we just wasted our time, lost our loved ones, destroyed our villages for nothing, and we become more enslaved, because this is what these people are planning. As you can see, teachers, they have started monitoring teachers.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do. We just have to keep fighting, because teachers started this, and today teachers are still being monitored for the same reason that teachers started it. We are still on the same reason today after 5 years. So what are we doing? If we just starting the war back, let's encourage guys. Let's try to encourage our counties, support our counties, pay the phone levy and everything, and buy more guns and keep up the war. We don't have to stop this thing now. We have to keep it. It's like we started a new war. Like we haven't done anything here. Let's just reset our mindset and keep focused to see how we come out of this
All right.
in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. All right. Let's see who next is on the line. Let's see, ground zero. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
Yeah. Good evening, Secretary Chris. I'm calling from the Northern Zone.
Okay. And what is in your mind, sir?
Well, I would want to appreciate you for the wonderful job you're doing. In fact, I had a lot of neighbors at home that came together just because it was noised that Secretary Chris is coming up today. And so on your panel, as soon as we saw Mark Barretta, we said a new move has started. And we told ourselves that Secretary Chris is going to be the one man that's going to bring back all other activists that were not actually on board. And so we are more than happy to see you both. And in fact, we are already seeing a new move. Something new is starting. You see, we christen this war a God-ordained war. So God is that go bad. You know, sometimes we would be crying, oh, Secretary Chris is no longer in ABC. We were crying and crying and crying. This is what God has brought up. And I think God brought this up so that the forces that were dispersed can now come back together again so that we can have a new impetus in this war. So just like as the previous caller said, something new has started that is going to catapult us to Boya very fast. So once again, I want to thank you for the wonderful wisdom that you have. And as far as monitoring the teachers is concerned, I believe that is also another serious mistake that this La Republic, you see, they are very stupid, and I don't know, they are so stupid that they make errors, they don't learn from it. And the teachers should seize this opportunity to drop down their tools and stay home. They don't even need to go to the streets. Drop those things and stay home. They will come begging them.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, when we heard, we wept. We were in the house. We wept when we heard that rubbish that was going on in the university.
Right.
And how can a prick who doesn't even know how to express himself in good English be first in his class? This is witchcraft. So God is giving you people to expose all these things, and I'm telling you, sooner than later, we will be in Boya. God bless you. Continue the good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You have a great day and remain safe out there, sir. All right, let's get to the next caller. And this is Gabonese. Gabonese, the spokesman from Ground Zero. Hello, Gabonese. You have 1 minute. You have 1 minute. Go on.
Yeah, thank you very much, Secretary Chris. I just want to thank Brother Mark Barata. I saw him today at your platform. I was so happy to see him for the first time, you know. I just want to encourage all Ambazonians that we are Ambazonians and we have to forget about our grievances. Put Ambazonian first, put the life of our foreign heroes and our civilians and the nation first. We need to enforce. What we need is firepower on the ground. Firepower is the key of this struggle, and each Ambazonians, home and abroad, must understand that Ambazonians, some of us that have given our life, we are in the butches, we are fighting to free the nation, we are determined to free the Southern Cameroons. And I'm encouraging all Ambazonians, we must forget about our differences, forget about politics, forget about imputation. We focus on self-defense, and we need to send a message to French Cameroon. What we need the guns, the RPGs, the IEDs. We need it so that this way we can keep them out. French Cameroon only listen to sound of guns, machine guns, RPGs, and explosives. That's what they must listen. I just heard what you were trying to say on the University of Bamenda, stuff like that. Yes, French Cameroon and France, they are not ready yet to pack and go. We need firepower. Every single Saudi Cameroon Ambazonians need to have a gun. We need to have to kick these criminals out of Ambazonians. And we are determined. I'm not tired to fight. Even 100,000 years to come, I will still fight as long as we live. So I'm happy today at your platform. I want to thank everybody that participated today. But we need to understand that we need to put Ambazonia first. We need to free this nation. Cameroon, not doing so, we are going to, I don't understand what is going to happen in the future because our kids need this country. We all need Ambazonians. We are fighting for Ambazonians, unborn generation, not ourselves. I'm not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for my children and unborn children. So I'm very happy that Mark Barata was today on the platform, and our other leaders were there. So they were there also. And I believe that with Ambazonia coming together, understand the root causes of the problem, coming together, understand the struggle, putting working together in unity and understanding, not self-centered. And we know Amazon is for all. So what I'm trying to say is that I saw what Barata was saying there about the AMF, ADF, and social. Those matters. What matters for each Ambazonian to hold a gun and shoot the enemy close range and make sure that Southern Cameroon, FACO, and the CAN should not be in Amazonia. All the forces are aware and they are more capable than before. We are in high spirit.
All right.
The finance and the guns to keep these fools out.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Gabonese. Please remain safe out there. We love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your sacrifice and thanks for the call. And let me
That's
just
great.
quickly say this before I take the rest of the calls. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear them talking about politics. You are all aware that there are some issues in this interim government that need to be looked into. And I brought up those issues. For about 1 month or so, you have heard this one saying this, the other one saying that. The vilification, the blackmail, the smear campaigns, the lies. And many of you have been saying, Secretary Chris, say something. You have to say something. You have to maybe clarify this. And of course, you also probably have read some communique out there, which I don't want to go into that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been in this struggle for the past 5 years, very consistent, never changing anything. This is the same Chris I know. What I hate are manipulators and manipulations. I really love you guys to know that I will have the last say. Now, take me very, very seriously. My silence does not mean capitulation, or should not mean capitulation. I will have the last say. And what you see from lame duck leaders should not worry you at all, not at all. I will have my say. I'm just waiting for that right moment. But in the meantime, you can trust Ambazonia will be served with ABS. This struggle will be solved through this media. So you can rest assured out there that Secretary Chris will just keep on doing what he knows best, serving Ambazonia. The people who are playing politics with this struggle, let me tell you, they don't have their brothers out there in the bushes. I have my brother out there. They've not lost family. I've lost family. They've not lost home. I've lost home. And so, when they turn this struggle into politics, and I told you here last time, this interim government will not be abandoned in the hands of a few thugs. No, rather, those thugs will be abandoned. The interim government will stay and get stronger and better, and I can assure you that is going to happen. I am not going anywhere from the interim government. I stand behind the interim government. Some people have said that, oh, a revolutionary council should have been the best thing. The interim government was a mistake. If it was a mistake, we are how many years into it? About 3 years into it. I think that we have made lots and lots of progress with the interim government. We've seen LGA by LGA, county by county, and we've seen our achievements through these efforts. We cannot destroy them. We cannot destroy them. We will allow people to destroy themselves with frame-ups, with lies, with vilifications against others. I can assure you, they will not survive. Let me say this also to every one of you listening to the sound of my voice out there. This struggle does not belong to any one individual. Every one of you Ambazonians who believe in a free and independent country are stakeholders. So the idea that I hear some people say, I will just leave it and walk away. I will just abandon it to them and walk away. No, you make a big mistake. We will sweep the house, and I bet you that day is coming. It is coming very soon. You go nowhere. You stay there. We will fight and we'll make sure at the end of the day we have a better organization, a better government with leaders who know how to solve problems, not cover them, not ignore them, not make as if they don't exist, not get into the pocket of women, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I promise you, I will be back to you to tell you what is going on. For now, we'll mind the business of the struggle. Let me take the call. There are just so many. All right, I hope you got that. Hello. 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 All right, I guess they are not ready to talk. Let's get to the next caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
I'm Didi calling from Norway.
Oh, Didi, Mr. Kennedy. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm so happy with your topic, your chosen topic today. This topic on education actually is a catch point because it is reflectional, it is motivational, it brings us memory lane. It substantiates the reason why we have to keep fighting. So your topic of today is so jaw-breaking. Thank you very much and keep on the good job.
Thank you.
Of course, the composition of your platform is so amazing. I think we are getting to somewhere. Thank you very much, my brother. Keep on.
All right, thank you, comrade. God bless. Remain safe out there. All right, let's get to the phones are ringing, ladies and gentlemen. Ground zero calling. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Yeah, I'm calling from Bamenda, Ground Zero.
Wonderful. And what is in your mind?
Yes, first of all, we are very, very pleased to have Mark Barretta on the platform. That we are very, very pleased. Congratulations.
It seems you guys are going to take this show and give to Mark Barretta. I am still your anchor man. You guys know that.
No, of course, that's out of dispute. But you know, the fact that you have Mark Barretta on the platform shows that you are a force of unity, Secretary Chris. We really appreciate that, and I admire your frankness. You know, we have lost so much. So much is at stake that without the kind of frankness that you have, yeah, we are going nowhere. Thank you very much for that. So Mark, welcome, Master. We can't make it together now, Master. All in Amazonia now, we can't make it together.
We did. Don't worry.
So welcome, Master. Move plans together.
Thank you.
I want to say the point I want to make as somebody who lives in Ground Zero and who observes the situation as it evolves is that Amazonians, the day Amazonians will be ready for independence will come. What I'm saying is that Amazonians are not yet dedicated enough. We are not yet dedicated enough, Secretary Chris.
What would you be expecting if they were being dedicated enough?
Yes, they are not dedicated enough. There are people who are either indifferent, people who behave as if they don't know what is happening in the midst of all the atrocities that these criminals, these Francophone criminals are doing here. There are people here who think that maybe we can move back from where we are, which is completely out of the question. So it is a question of Amazonians recognizing that our very existence is at stake because of these Francophones. And doing the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Kizito, just made a point there that to me, all this nonsense about schooling, course and so on, activities that link us with those Francophones should be stopped so that we dedicate ourselves as much as it is necessary to eradicate these criminals from this country. And if we do that, it's a matter of weeks, this thing will be over. Then we start the country that we want. But this gambling about going to school, what kind of school are we talking about? Even what kind of schooling? Nonsense, rubbish. This gambling about trying to do things that will give the impression that we are still linked with them is a waste of time. It's going to prolong this thing. We don't
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate. Again, this platform is open to every Ambazonian, and we will do our best to give them the opportunity to share it. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. Yeah, good evening, Secretary.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Ground Zero, Bamenda.
Okay. All right. What is in your mind, sir?
Sir, I just wanted an addition of that from what you were just saying, that we need troops from, we need additional troops to the FACO so they can resist the African Cup of Nations.
Okay.
So I support the idea of you bringing troops, because I tried talking with some fighters in Victoria. They were telling me they have some confusion, some issues like you were just saying. So I just prefer soldiers should come from out and all they meet together, speak on one voice, and they react.
All right.
And something like the RPGs are highly needed. So from a distance, they can launch the cars or vehicles to those players. So to show them a sign, because if it comes of a player, an international player is lying down, it will mean something to the generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day. Remain safe out there. All right, let's get to the next caller. Ground Zero calling. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Can you turn down the volume of your TV set, sir?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Go on. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from, sir?
Okay, let me shift away.
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Meme County, though I cannot get you through my loudspeaker. But I just want to appreciate you for picking me the second time.
All right. Go on. Go on. What is your contribution? Okay, Meme County. Good to hear from you. Go on, sir. Go on.
Okay, now I want to switch to pidgin so that many people will get me right.
All right, that is okay.
Yes, Secretary Chris, as I talk, I want to switch for pidgin.
Okay.
I really appreciate we don't do this today because of, say, we don't see Mark Barata. He don't come for line as an old soldier for come fight back this fight. And with the praise, say, make all the other activities where they don't draw, whether Nawushwa or Nawushwa, make them come back, make we fight this fight. Because this thing now, all this politics where they don't play, think the way Sako they do them now, it confuse me for Ground Zero. And I wish me Sako and it teach him that they listen, because everybody for Ground Zero, they complain, say, wait the way they do, it not be correct. I would thank you for your courage for bringing Mark Barata, because Mark Barata, we don't take it like an outcast, but we'll be happy to see. Even if Eric Tato go need to come back, we need soldiers where they fight and for fight for take this land. Maybe people where they play politics, we don't tire for this politics where they play them now. So many people they don't die. We need to say make people then come, we stand and we fight, make the deep politics aside. I get so much for talk, but until I say time, it don't go be. But Chris, at the praise say make you come once in every 2 weeks. I mean, 2 times for every week, so that we will fit for the get more and more things. Today,
don't be worried. What we get if I don't come, we will.
Power use the wisdom as an old man for address this issue, so that we will fit for come home and we'll rest with the bed.
All right, thank you, sir. You guys remain safe out there. God bless. Mike, you got something to add there?
Well,
stay on the line, please. Mike, go on.
Yeah, maybe too. I talk to for a pigeon. I remember my brother don't talk for pigeon. He come up for Meme. Me too. I come up for Meme county. At the year which will ultimately they talk, and I be glad say they be glad for see me. Me too. I be glad for once. For a very long time for come on this
and
new,
you actually look younger and more handsome, Mike. All right, let's get to the next caller here. Achiri Atanga. Good to see you, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Secretary Chris.
Yes, sir. Good evening. You're calling from, am I right, Louisiana, correct?
Correct, that's correct.
Okay, good to see you. What is your contribution?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting Mark, who is the chairman of SCAF. I appreciate him. I appreciate him coming online to talk. I really appreciate that. I'm talking about Afcon. I like the topic. It's a very wonderful topic, and it's time for all Amazonians to come together, think together, and act together to stop this taboo from happening in our land. And just to also add that all activists, like the previous caller just said, it's time for all activists to unite together, every Amazonian to unite together to make sure that we push this struggle to the absolute freedom of homeland. I think we only have divergent views. We have to put our minds together, our efforts together, and make sure that we fight as one man and free our people. Our people are dying every day, Secretary Chris. And I see Ground Zero a little bit united than us in the diaspora. It pains my heart that we keep fighting each other. And if you this first step of yours, bringing in Mark Barretta on such a wonderful platform, should not be the last one. We should bring in people who have different ideas, we agree ideas, harness them together, and see what is good for us, and we move forward as a team. That's what I think. I don't want to take most of your time because I know many people are calling. So, but congratulations. And thank you, Mark Barretta, for accepting this invitation. And I hope that others with different views will accept the invitations of Secretary Chris and come on such wonderful platforms. So we talk as brothers, as comrades, as people who have the same problem, people who have the same goals, and people who have the same destination. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless. Remain safe out there. Okay, calls are flowing in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who is next on the line. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Yes, yes, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
I'm calling from Thailand.
From Thailand. Wow. So there are Amazonians in Thailand.
Yeah, we are all over the place, sir.
You've become Igbos everywhere on the globe.
We are everywhere, sir. Well, I just want to appreciate everything you are doing and the step you are taking. It's a very good step, bringing together everyone on board so we fight one person, the president, that's La Republic. Thank you for seeing the faces of Mula Wunja today, Fakokanti, Barretta, and all the like. We need to get info from these people to know exactly what is happening from each and every county. Bringing them online here will make us know more about what's going on with their county, and we can hold them responsible if anything is wrong and which is not working properly. They can tell us, which is very good for us out there. The war only just started. We have to keep fighting, and we really appreciate everything that you are doing in this count, in this revolution, Secretary Chris, bringing this platform together for people to come again, bring back everyone together to give their views, and we join together and fight this war. And we deeply appreciate, and we are watching you from all over the world. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mark Barretta. Thank you, Mr. Wunja. We hope to be seeing you people, and Dr. Kizitu. We appreciate your coming, and we hope you encourage others to come so we can have an insight and fight the Republic with one mouth. Thank you so much, Secretary Chris.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. You have a good night there. Okay, let's see who is next here. Hello. Hello. Bad connection there. Let's see who is next. Hello.
Hello, Secretary. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. May I know where you are calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, Bamenda Mancon.
Bamenda Mancon. Okay. All right. What is in your mind?
Yeah. Yes, I'm really pleased. I'm so happy. I'm so happy seeing you and with what you have done. Mark Barata present in this program, I'm so delighted because these are people who started this struggle. This struggle was in their hands at the beginning when it was hijacked by, when those our people were taken to prison and it was handed to them. They were moving on a good foot, but suddenly we found them now saying other things. I, for one, I was really so impressed with him. He was my heart.
They were preaching another gospel.
Another gospel, Papa, where I know they understand my head. I got the way to don't have Barretta. Oh my God!
Okay.
I want just diamond and that. I want just diamond. I'll be so happy with we don't do. Where, Papa, you are a child of God. You are a child of God. May you continue so for unite all of them when they don't go astray. Unite all of them, bring all of them. Eric Tato, bring this other one, they call him what? In short, those who were in this trouble that have left, you have brought Mark Barata. Thank you, Mark, for coming. Mark, I beg.
Mark, do a greeting.
Come back.
Thank you,
Ade. Stay focused. Like others have stayed focused. I don't know what happened to you, but I'm glad because you have come back. Even for accepting this invitation is something that is so good. I'm happy with you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. In this struggle. Together, we will stand. United, we will stand. Divided, we will fall. We don't want to fall. We want to. This another 10 in this struggle. I know it's going to go take us far. Thank you, Secretary.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for what you have done. May God continue to be with you and guide you in all you do. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Remain safe out there. God bless. All right. So let's take, I wish I could take everybody's call. Just unfortunately, I can. The calls are raining in their numbers. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Calling from Bowie County.
Bowie County, the land of the warriors. Yes, sir. What is in your mind? Hello.
Yeah, I'm calling from Bowie County. Yeah.
Yes, go on. We can hear you.
Okay. I want to ask Mark Barita. I'm sure he is not coming, but on TV. I'm sure he has. I know that he.
Mark, centralize your camera, please. Yes, go on, go on.
Yeah, I know that he has never left the struggle. As people are saying that, thank him for coming back, thank him for coming back. It's as if he left the struggle, and it's as if he left the struggle and he's coming back in the struggle. But I don't think that is the case. I know that he's in the struggle. But now I want to make people to understand that what is happening now. You brought Mark Barita on your show as an anchorman. You have not brought him back in the struggle, for he has never left the struggle.
Of course, you are right. I didn't bring him back into the struggle. I didn't send him anywhere either, right?
Yes.
All right.
Now, people are making it to feel to be as if he was out of the struggle and Chris Ano has gone to bring back Mark Barita in the struggle.
But why not allow Mark Barita to speak for himself? Huh? All right, listen. Thank you for the call. Let's give the line to others to call, okay? All right. Let's get to others. Mark, anything to say to that caller?
Well, I think he understood better.
Hold the line, please.
People have been used to seeing me on the screen. That is the issue.
Hold the line.
When they don't see me on the screen anymore on Facebook and on TV, they are thinking that I was gone. I didn't go anywhere. I've been there fighting the fight in another way, in another capacity, very quiet, active on Twitter, supporting on the ground where it is possible. Also, let's thank God for ABS. Probably this is something new, and we'll be doing more of this
All right.
frequently to
Thank
target
you.
French
Thank
Cameroon.
you. Let's get to the next caller here. Hello.
Hello, Secretary. Please, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from North Cyprus.
North Cyprus. Okay. So there are Ambazonians in North Cyprus.
There are so many. There are so
Oh, wow.
I want to thank you for your presentation this evening and the panel that we are seeing. In fact, it's such a great thing. I want to thank Mark Barata for coming on board, as everybody is thanking him. This is to show the unity of Ambazonia. Whenever we are united, that is the Republic panic. I can hear everybody trying to talk on how we can stop Afcon from Buea, Limbe, and in fact Ambazonia. You know, this is an existential war, and La Republic is highly preparing. So with the Ambazonia, we should not look at it as if just talking on television and trying to play brands. This is the last fight of the revolution. This is the last fight, because when this fight started, the way the Manu people that is came up, even the army were saying it, that this thing, if we continue like that, this thing would have ended. But politics came inside and a lot of things. We should not go into that. But this time around, this is the La Republic is preparing financially, spiritually. But you cannot fight somebody in his country, in his home, no matter how spiritual you are strong. Also, this is the last time for Ambazonia to remove the last thing to prove to the Republic that we own the land. We should not be a mere words talking on television. Shan came and passed. They said, we succeeded. But this nation's scope, if it comes and succeed, then we should just know that we are used to words, not action. But I just want to believe that in as much as actions are taking place, we are going to prove to La Republic that what we say, we mean it.
All right.
We should hold it by that. We should hold
exactly.
it by that. In spite of all the politics, we should hold it and fight La Republic this time around for them to feel the pains. Even if they send their armies to Ambazonia, they will tell them that we will no longer go. So that's just what I think I should contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You have a great day or a great night. Okay, let's get back to ground zero. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary, please.
Yes, good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ground 1, Bamenda, sir.
Ground zero, you mean?
Yes, Ground Zero, sir.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for the marvelous job you've been doing, and I want to thank everybody working with you right away. And I want to talk precisely to Mark Barata, that I am grateful seeing him back on the TV show of today, and I would like to tell him that presently, as we are watching in Bamenda, let him really see the kind of pains we are going through, though we know maybe he was not out of the struggle, but we are praying for him. We are praying for everybody who is involved in the fight, that let us stand as one. Let us keep the fire burning, because we have lost what we cannot turn back. We should let go our grievances. We should be able to stand like one Ambazonia. We have lost a lot of things, that the human life that we have been losing here in Bamenda, precisely where I am talking. Sometimes when I turn and look, it is like I should die, but
to be honest with Mark Barata, let him also invite other people as he has come to this TV to make us have a smile on our faces, because we are really depressed and demoralized when we see people fighting and people are not fighting. Like what we've been seeing on the main ABC, that the president is unable to address, and all of that have been happening. I'm not just happy
General
at all,
Bright
but
alongside
then,
the squad today na the
Mark,
19th
we are happy seeing you on
December
TV. And concerning the football coming up in Libre, so we don't need to hide our feelings.
They approve my target.
Let everybody know that we, the citizens of Ambazonia, need any football match to take place in Limbe. So if you are coming there, if you are a footballer or whosoever person you are coming there, if you die there, it will be one of the ultimate prizes Ambazonia have been paying. The authorities of Ambazonia do not know about this football. We were not informed. They were not informed. And we, the civilians, we are not informed. And the Ambazonian military have not been informed. So we have the right to blow off anything. We are paying the price. Our family members have been paying the price. Our children, our parents, everybody have been paying the price. We have lost thousands of Ambazonians. So they will make no difference. It's just for them to understand what is going on. They should better stay without coming. If they want to think that their lives are more better than those of Ambazonians that have been dying. So I just want to appreciate you, sir. I just want to appreciate all of you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. You stay safe out there, and look forward to seeing what happens with the Afcon Cup. I will take just two more callers, and we will call it the night. Let's get to the next caller here.
General Bright alongside
All
the squad
right,
today,
hello.
19th December 20.
Greetings, sir. Where are you calling from?
They approach my target. They approach my target.
I just want to take this time to really greet you people and especially to gather these people around, to gather the people that had once been really kind of slow, might be in sight. You know, they used to say that sight is the ability to see things the way they are, but vision is the capacity to see things the way they should be. But if we want to draw a lesson from these biblical stories of this prodigal son, you know, when the prodigal son left the house, he never knew what was awaiting of him. But my point is not really that he left the house. My point is that what was the elder brother who remained in the house? He would have rushed down there and checked for the little kid, his little brother. But he didn't do that. But I'm happy today that with all of this that is happening, you are still putting things in place and trying to bring them together. Oh my goodness, I will be the most happiest person if I can also see somebody like Ayabacho that can even come onto the stage. These are people that, you know, when we unite ourselves, the only thing we have is victory. Oh my goodness. I'm very happy with the work that you're doing. The mandate is there, the vision is there, and the fire is there. Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm, sir. I thank Mr. Mark Barata, who honored this invitation to prove to the people that he is back. And not just that he is back, but he is back with the vision and not the sight only. So I thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Go ahead with the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are strictly behind you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. I get to the last caller now. The last caller, who is that? Let's see. Coming from Germany. Let's see. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. You are calling from Germany, am I correct?
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Germany.
All right.
Good evening, Secretary.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, although I did not start the show, I will review it after. I want to thank Dr. Elat. I want to thank Mola. I want to thank Mark Barata. I want to thank you as well. for this great show, for bringing these people together. That is a very big sign of unity. And with this spirit, we can fight and fight better. I want to just tell them we are very happy to see all of them like this. After a very long while, we are very happy. And I want to appeal that even the youth, there were some youth that were in the struggle, some youth figures, some very young people who were in the struggle, both men and women, who have been sent away, I don't know, maybe by some people due to their way. Please, you, our leaders, you should also endeavor to bring these young people back, because when you bring them back and the youth are seeing their images, it is also a motivation for the youth who behave like they don't care about the struggle, because this fight is for them. So I want to thank you without taking much time. I don't have much to say. I just want to thank you for this unity factor that we are portraying on this TV. I think the reason for creating this TV is God's decision, because we were not expecting this unity. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you for the call, sir. Remain safe out there. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we just cannot take every caller. But let me just give the grace to this one caller. I think this is from Europe. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, good evening, sir. Where are you calling from? Hello, go
Hello,
on.
Secretary Chris.
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Good evening. This is Comrade Ponju calling from the Netherlands.
Okay, thanks for the call, sir. What is your contribution?
Yes, Secretary Chris. Firstly, I want to say that I'm very delighted with the fact that we have Comrade Mark Barata on board. He has been somebody that he inspired some of us that passed through the University of Boya in the days of UPSU. He has been a fervent fighter, not today. So even those of us that went through the office we see in his auditorium and the participation he did during the days of Dorothy Njoma inspire us a lot. So it's we are so pleased when we see people like that on board, because he has been a fervent fighter. And to go now to my contribution, I would really like to reiterate that our problem here is La Republic. That is our common enemy. So I really want to beg all parties, if we really want this to become another South Sudan, we really need to be serious. Because if we have our unity on board, irrespective of our political ideology, let us first of all put all our efforts in attaining the independence which is at stake. If we achieve that, then even if we are fighting a civil war among ourselves, but at least we are fighting it that time as a recognized Republic of Ambazonia and not as a territory under the Republic. So I'm really pleased again seeing Mark Barata. Like I said, he has really inspired those of us who led revolutions in the University of Boya. So I really want to thank you, Secretary Chris, for your effort in bringing this unity into the fold. That is what I really have to say. So our common enemy is La Republic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to end on that note. Ladies and gentlemen, Comrade Mark, it was great to have you. Please go ahead. 50 more seconds. Say something before you go.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Chris, for having me on this program. Just want to ask all Amazonians on Ground Zero in Victoria and Boya to ask them to cooperate with us so that we can stop this great evil in our land in the name of Afcon. You must not be a fighter to support to stop Afcon. And thank you, Monja and Dr. Ella. It was nice to have you guys on the program to talk with you. Thank you to Chris Anu, and thanks for all those who called across the world. I know that, like someone said from Bamenda, this is a God-ordained revolution, and inshallah, we are going to reach Boya sooner than later. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. The Honorable Monja, please.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, Secretary Chris, thank you very much for bringing us together again once more. Dr. Elat, I'm happy to see you after a while. Mr. Mark Barata, I'm very, very happy to meet you in this platform. I hope we are going to continue to do this so that the people of Ambassador, they'll have some encouragement from us here back home. Yeah, because they put all their trust from us. We are the one who can talk. They cannot talk because they know the consequences. So, secondly, I would like Dr. Elat, please don't be offended. Sometimes it's good to advise our leaders and tell them the truth so that they can go in the inner core and discuss it. Yes, we should not destroy the IG. We built it, all of us. We should keep on trying to build it in a very powerful way that we are going to be happy, all of us. Secondly, I want to thank everyone watching, the televiewers. We want to thank Secretary Chris for bringing us together. You will continue doing that in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Wunja. Dr. Elat, please.
Secretary Chris, great being with these young people today, you know. But let me say, Mark, when people were saying unity, you should have told them that there is unity, and they are saying bringing us together. Wonja, Mark Bara, we are together. Have we ever been out not together? So make people know that maybe there are some people who need to unite. We are all together. Another thing I want to make Amazonians to know is that we are in a war, or let's say we are in a revolution. And for those who have studied a lot, and those who have not studied, you are free to find out, do your research. There is no revolution on earth that has happened that all the factions comes together and sit on one table as one. It doesn't happen anywhere. But there is a type of unity which is called unity on purpose. That means what I can do best, you do what you can do best, and you try to encourage your other partner to do his or her own side what he or she can do best. Because I realize that Amazonians are too Christianized or whatever. Look, long time I graduated from church, but let me say this. This is not a church. This is not a pastor's house. This is not a pope house. This is a war. And during war, you clear your front in order to go forward. What do I mean? I mean to say, if you see that there is a hindrance, you must put it aside. You must not hold it and stay one area waiting until that hindrance is being solved before you go forward. You will be killed. So that is what we call war. We like unity, but if we cannot get everybody on one boat, we need to continue going. So thank you, Secretary Chris. Thank everybody. Thank the televiewers. And Ground Zero, keep strong. We are with you guys, and we hope to stop Afcon with all our might. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you all, gentlemen. You have a great evening over there in Europe. All of you are in Europe. 2 from London, 1 from the Federal Republic of Germany. Before we go, I'd just like to remind all of you out there, ladies and gentlemen, who have been asking how you can support ABS. I'd like you to know, you go to the website, absafricatv.com, you'll find donation buttons, and you can support ABS with a simple donation as low as $20, as high as $100,000. So please, you follow that link to the website and do what you can do. I'm also just seeing this information right now from the social media. I do not know how accurate it is, but the the source of this information can be dependable. It is not verified, but I know the source. It says FIFA has officially requested for Afcon 2021 to be postponed. Because of incomplete infrastructure and health issues. This was disclosed, according to this source, at a CAF meeting in Doha yesterday. That would be yesterday, Sunday. So we wait to see whether this is confirmed. But again, I mean, this is some good news. However, I would really love to have heard them say they are postponing or canceling because of war in Amazonia. Whatever the case, we see victory in the horizon, ladies and gentlemen. Again, please log on to our website, absafricatv.com. Support ABS. We need to stay on the air and get all the way into every home in Africa beginning January. We're looking for 500 people who would sign up, enroll in ABS fan club so that we can take this to another level. And let me also promise all of you, again, every Amazonian out there who is a lover and a supporter and advocate for a free Amazonia will be brought to this channel. We may have some really good fights when they come here. But I bet you we will fight and we will agree at the end of the day for one thing, a free Amazonia. Thank you all for tuning in. It was a great pleasure to be with you. I look forward to coming back. One of these days. You will see me. Thank you. And remain all blessed, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Sister, dramatic fun.